congratulations, you got your job back from Macca. How did the experience go?
Yeah, I think it was good. It was certainly good for Jared. He really enjoyed it, and it was good to see through another set of eyes, as he put it, I guess, and to realise some of the challenges that the coaches face us, but also to be able to become a bit more efficient on match day, and so we got out of it what we wanted to, which was good. And you know, it's always good to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see what the vision's like from that perspective, and he was able to do that. And I think it was pretty handy to hand the keys back though, and get on with playing footy, which is what he's really here to do.
The break and between the games, does it mean you have to sort of keep your foot to the pedal a bit?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge, I guess, as far as you know, you get a bit of momentum, you get that one game, and then you have a couple of weeks. There's still certainly some things out of the game we can work on, which is what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. But it does mean that you have to reset and go again, and that's what we'll do. I mean, the good thing is we play 2 in a row now, and that's a really good preparation, we think, for the start of the season. So to be able to play this week and next week, and then have the week off before the season starts, we think's probably the right way to do it.
What sort of a team are you looking at? Is it the strongest you can get it?
Yeah, we'll have a strong team in. I mean, our first week was pretty strong. Really, the only one that didn't play that could have played was Kieran Jack. But this week we'll have a really strong team in. As I've been reading that Leon's been saying about his boys, is that they'll have a strong team in as well. So that's great for the people of the Inner West here to come along and see the 2 Sydney teams and see them pretty much at full strength.
How's Isaac? His knee?
Yeah, he looks okay. He was able to train on our first session this week and was able to get through what he needed to do. He'll train again today, and if he gets through that, he'll be able to play. So we're hopeful that he's able to get through training today, and he won't be doing all of training, but he'll do an amount that the physios require him to do. And if he does that, hopefully he'll be ticked off and he'll be right to play.
And Sam Reed's, how many is he? A couple of weeks away still?
Yeah, we've still got a couple that are a couple of weeks away. Sam's one that's it wasn't a bad one, but because he did it last year, we're a bit conservative with him on his return to play. So we'll hopefully be right for that, really the final week before the season starts. And if that's the case, it'll be a good result.
You play a full squad this week. Other teams have been chopping theirs down a bit, so you get used to the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, we did 90 rotations the first game, and so. But we understood that was only a 100-minute game. We've got to stretch that out to 120 minutes and do the same amount of rotations. So, you know, I'm sure that's what all clubs are doing now, is that the final 2 games especially are limiting the rotations, and we'll do the same this week. We'll limit our rotations and get our players used to being out there for longer.
Collingwood clearly aren't happy with the late change of venue. How would you feel if there was such a change with about 3 weeks to go to the start of the season?
Oh, look, I can understand there's some logistical challenges to it, but I thought that Nathan Buckley handled it really well yesterday. Was that, in the end, it's a great spot to play, the SCG, and their team's looking forward to coming up and playing there, and that's what it's about. I know this is an unusual situation. I mean, I didn't find out, for instance, until I got off a plane and read the press release. It was very delicate, the negotiations, and it was a really respectful time for ANZ, and we're really appreciative of that. So it was a real challenge to be able to get to that point. But we're really fortunate and appreciative that we're at the SCG now. It's great for football, and particularly in Sydney and New South Wales. Our members have been really screaming out for it, and we get to go back to the SCG in round 1, and I think it'll be a fantastic build-up. We can't get too obsessed by some of the headlines. In the end, it'll be a fantastic build-up to a fantastic game.
In pure footy terms, what does it mean to have all your 11 home games at the one venue?
Oh, it's fantastic, and that's with all due respect to ANZ as well. We had a terrific relationship with them. We had some great games out there. I think over the years we had a pretty healthy win-loss record out there and had some terrific experiences out there. But to get back to the SCG and play our entire home and away season back there is what our members have been after, and to be able to do it and to give that message to our members is sensational. And there's been a real buzz around the place since the announcement, and our supporters have really jumped on board.
Were you surprised by the pretty strong words that came from Collingwood, disrespectful and unprofessional, given it's just I guess there is some things to consider, but it's a change of venue at the end of the day. It's pretty strong to come out with words like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Gary Pert's words were very strong, But they were balanced really well, I thought, by Nathan yesterday. And look, I as a coach understand there'll be some challenges, and there could be some challenges that present themselves. But in the end, I hope they're not insurmountable. And it is a great thing for Australian rules football, I believe, in Sydney, to be having Sydney Swans versus Collingwood round 1 at the SCG. I think it's a terrific thing, and if we step back and have a look at that and embrace that issue, I think that's what we really should be focusing on.
John, apologies if you've already been asked in terms of availability of guys. Jared said a couple of days ago that he's looking doubtful for round 1. What's your take on him? Is anybody else at this stage who's doubtful for the Collingwood game?
Yeah, I'd suggest that Jared's probably won't play round 1. But Ted Richards, Sam Reid, those guys are still in the mix. Benny McGuinn's probably the other one that won't play round 1. But that'll sort of unfold over the next few weeks. It's a bit hard at this point to be able to focus 3 weeks out on exactly where those guys will be in their program. They're all stepping it up. They've all had pretty good build-ups. But in Jared's case, he's unlikely to be out for round 1.
With those guys like Richards and Reid, you hopeful they'll play one NAB game before round 1?
If they don't play one NAB game, we've got a reserves practice game that weekend off. And if they don't play the NAB game, which we won't certainly risk them, we'll be very conservative in what we do with them. Hopefully they'll be available for that last game before round 1.
In terms of the Giants, do you see this year as being maybe the year that this rivalry in the city of Sydney particularly starts to really heat up as they get a little bit stronger?
Oh, I think we're starting to see that already. I mean, they're obviously a terrific football team. I mean, they're a hard team. They play the footy the right way as far as the physical pressure around the ball. They've got some terrific young players, and they've added again with Stevie J over the break. So they've got some great experience in that group as well. So we're under no illusions how good a team that they are out at GWS. And you've just got to really look at the players that don't get a game each week, and we see them play our reserves to understand how good a team they are. They're a very good team. They play footy the right way, and they're well coached. So we understand they're coming at 100 miles an hour, and we're excited about our younger group too. So it should be a good battle on the weekend.